Can I be honest with you for a second? Like, I'm enjoying playing Warframe, and I'm also sometimes really afraid of playing Warframe. Like, if we go right here to the game, I have such a fun time going and fixing up my Sinistar and fixing up the Tron and like trying to rebuild these weapons to doing something better, because it really reminds me of the days when I was playing Warframe and I was trying to get the better weapons and the better stuff, and I have fun with that. But then there are times where I'm like right here and I'm playing this and I'm like, yeah, I remember I was super excited playing this Duviri quest. Like, I was like, horsey in Warframe, woo! And I was like, oh, I get to know more about the operator, the iDubbbz operator. That's so cool, woo! But now that that quest novelty is kind of gone, I'm playing for this. I'm kind of like, man, like, this right here is not really Warframe, is it? It's like, you know, like, this right here is on the Warframe melee. I'm not using any of my mods. I'm not using anything up the game that I originally played. It farms really weird. Like, I need to get some things to get my weapon up. But to get that, I need to go play an entirely different game, basically, within the game. And you might be thinking, like, you know, like, maybe that's not the actual game. But we just played the 1999 demo. And literally, like, the only thing that I saw there that was somewhat Warframe was that the character had the Excalibur skin on. And I was like, this just feels like they put an entirely new game in Warframe, and then they just slapped an Excalibur skin on it because, you know, that's sort of like Warframe. And, like, I'm just feeling it's like, this is not necessarily the game that I enjoyed to play back in the day, but then again, everyone is super excited about it, and I feel like if I start talking about, like, dude, like, what am I doing? I don't get what I'm doing. This is not the game that I signed up for. I'm too critical about the game because, yeah, you know, like, you don't know what's going on, or, like, you haven't followed this at all, or, like, why do you hate on Warframe? And I'm just kind of like, I don't want to hate on Warframe just for the sake of hating it, because, you know, like, I don't think that's fair to a game. But at the same time, like, the thing that I joined this game for was running through hallways as a space ninja with some powers. And if I look over the last couple weeks that I've been back in Warframe, how much of the time have I actually been running through holes as a space ninja that has some powers? Like, barely. Right now, I'm entering the Undercroft, even though, like, I wanted to go out here in this open world to farm some moles in the fishing minigame. Which, again, it's like, why do I have to do a minigame inside an open world to go and do, like, farm some stuff? Why can't I just run through hallways to get things? So then we have Pisa right here, who says, like, in my opinion, the only thing in the Fury after the quest that's fun is a circuit, because you play as a Warframe in a new area to get incarnations, arcanes, or Warframes. It's a bit of a mess, the Fury, but I hope that 1999 will be better. And here's where I'm worried, in the sense that, like, I have seen Warframe release the open worlds. I've seen them become content islands. I've seen Warframe introduce Railjack, which was hailed to be this brand new thing, completely new direction for the game that was going to be fantastic, and have that be a content island that didn't get any attention. I've seen, like, Duviri be announced and teased with, like, the Keanu Reeves looking character and everyone going wild. And then, like, you know, I wasn't really there for the release at the time, but right now it kind of seems like it's a little content island where if you want to get any of these things, you have to go and play for this, and I wonder if we'll ever see an update again, because it's so wildly different from the rest of the game. So, for me, logically speaking, if I look at something like Warframe 1999, which is so different, and I have to say I'm so impressed with, like, how much effort they put into it, not reusing any of the assets that are normally in the game in Warframe, because, like, right here, you know, you still have, like, the energy orbs that are kind of the same, you have properly, like, elements right here. I mean, like, when I'm playing as a Warframe right now, there's so many things in this game, a scenario right here that looks somewhat similar to what we've seen before, but in Warframe 99 it's completely different, that I'm like, wow, I'm properly impressed with this, but at the same time, I would be so surprised if that doesn't turn out to be another content island where if you want to have, like, one kind of upgrade within the game towards your weapon of your standard Warframe, you're going to have to go and do this, like, 1999 content island that will get an update for, like, 1 or 2 years, and then will never be looked at again because then they go for something else. And with every iteration, I feel we're striving further away from Warframe. Every iteration takes us further away from the whole running ninjas with powers that we used to be. First, it went into open worlds. Then, it went into weird open worlds like this with different Dark Souls mechanics. Then we also had, like, Archwing somewhere. Then we also had Railjack somewhere where all of a sudden we were piloting ships, which no one really liked. And now we're moving out to somewhere where nothing at all seems like the game that we actually started out with. I'm just kind of like thinking like, is it just me who's looking at this and being like, yeah, you know, like literally it is cool and all, but at the same time, like, are we still playing the same game, or are they like making anything but the same game? Have you played an FPS game around the time that Battle Royales became popular? I didn't really play any Call of Duties around the time that Battle Royales became popular, but I remember that there was a time when, like, basically these Battle Royales were taking over everything, and where I really enjoyed having Call of Duty to be like a team deathmatch, pretty decent, okay, like, low mobility shooter. All of a sudden, it all became this high mobility Fortnite-esque Battle Royale because that was popular. They changed the game that I like to be something else. And I'm feeling that that may be the case a little bit here. I'm getting that same feeling, because every single upgrade that we get here in Warframe is something that that's another step removed again from the game that I originally clicked on, like, hey, I want to join in. Obviously, it's good content, but, like, at the same time, it's like, if I go play Black Myth Wukong and the next time that Black Myth Wukong comes out, the monkey has a gun. Of course I want to play as monkey as a gun, but I'm Black Myth Wukong. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Am I the only one here? Mitch says, I really dislike the new war quest, by the way. You get to play with your Warframe for about 30 seconds or something. It felt so off to move with a meat stick, with a meat sack instead of a space ninja. Yeah, like, I really enjoyed the new war for the sense of the closure it gave me. It's just like the third quest in the line. But are we onto something? Are we onto something? Because yeah, as you're saying, the new war, you play as the Grenier, you play as the Corpus, you play as iDubbbz, bold iDubbbz. You somewhat play as your Warframe, you play as Teshin, but are we moving away from Warframe with every single update of Warframe? It's like, let us go over the reason. Railjack was not Warframe. I mean, like, it is Warframe, but it's way different than, you know, like the moving through hallways Warframe that Warframe was. New War, most of the time you don't play as your Warframe. Heart of Deimos, open world, not through the hallways Warframe. Whispers in the Wall, also way different. Plains of Duviri, also way different. Warframe 1999, it's gonna be super different. Yeah, are we onto something? Or is it just me?